Sex appeal is a wonderful, warm, womanly, healthy feeling. If you're...
What happens when rock stars let their wild sides take over? In the world of fame and excess, some celebrities have taken their crazy lifestyles to shocking extremes. From scandalous affairs to wild backstage stories, these celebs have captivated fans while creating absolute chaos. Number 25, Barbara Lamar. In the 1920s, Barbara Lamar was the hot topic of the industry, but not just for her acting. People called her the girl who was too beautiful, and boy, did she know how to party. Born in Texas, Barbara was like any other girl next door. But once she hit Hollywood, everything changed. Pretty smart for someone everyone just saw as a pretty face. She got married 5 times. Some marriages were so secret nobody knew about them, and she was always covered by admirers. She loved the attention and couldn't get enough of romance and excitement. Sadly, her nonstop partying caught up with her. All those late nights, wild parties, and love affairs wore her out. Barbara died at just 29 years old from tuberculosis, made worse by her partying lifestyle. If that blew your mind, just wait until you hear what's coming next. Number 24, Lupe Velez. Ever wondered why an actress so passionate had shot her famous boyfriend? Lupe came to Hollywood in the 1920s with nothing but big dreams and an even bigger personality. She quickly became famous for her spicy roles and kinda spicier real life. So here's the wild thing about Lupe. She had this fiery romance with Gary Cooper. It was the kind of love that burned super intensely. But it wasn't all roses. At one point, Lupe got so enraged with him that she pulled a gun on him and shot him. Yeah, you heard that right, shot him. Talk about a heated argument. She also dated Charlie Chaplin and Clark Gable, leaving a trail of drama wherever she went. Poor Lupe couldn't control her wild emotions or her need for love and attention.
I cannot bear it any longer. From now on, you're married to your business, and I hope you'll be very happy.
Thank you. Take the world off of your shoulders and roll it down the hill.
You seem very happy now.
Yes, I am, my dear.
She was always chasing after the next big romance, getting her heart broken every time. Her story ended sadly as she took her own life in 1944 after a failed relationship and an unexpected pregnancy. Number 23, Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, the love goddess of the 1940s, dazzled on the screen with her beauty and charm. But despite her glowing persona and countless admirers, she never quite found the real love she was searching for in her own life. Behind that famous smile, there was a woman longing for something even deeper. Rita started as a dancer when she was just a kid. Her real name was Margarita Cancino, and she danced in Mexican bars with her dad. Sounds a little different from the glamorous movie star she came to be, right? Well, Rita got married 5 times. One husband was the famous director Orson Welles, and another was a royal prince. But here's the sad part. Rita once said, "Men go to bed with Gilda, but wake up with me." She felt like guys only loved her sexy movie star image, not the real her. Despite being shy in real life, Rita kept looking for love in all the wrong places. She had lots of affairs and quick marriages, always hoping the next guy would be the true one. Rita Hayworth died on May 14, 1987, from Alzheimer's disease. She had been battling the illness for several years, which significantly impacted her memory and health before her passing. Number 22, Marion Davies. Want to know about the actress who dated one of the richest men in America, but still couldn't stop herself from falling for other guys? Yep, that's Marion Davies. She was a funny, talented actress, but here's the twist. She is most remembered for being the girlfriend of a newspaper tycoon, William Randolph Hearst. Now for the spicy part. Even though Hearst was crazy about her and gave her everything she wanted, Marion reportedly had an affair with Charlie Chaplin. This made Hearst super mad that he would throw huge tantrums. Marion stayed with Hearst until he died, but she was known for being quite flirty with other Hollywood men. Number 21, Louise Brooks. Meet Louise Brooks, the girl with the famous black bob haircut, who gave absolutely no interest in how society judged her. Louise was a dancer before she became an actress. She danced with a famous New York company and brought the grace to her movies. Pretty cool, right? Louise dated whoever she wanted, men or women, and didn't try to hide it. In the 1920s, when most people keep these things super secret, she just went, "Nah, I'm gonna do what I want." And the really impressive thing is that she turned down plenty of Hollywood big stars who tried to make her act more ladylike. Louise would just laugh and keep living life her way. She once said she wasn't gay or straight, but she just liked who she liked. Number 20, Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield was Hollywood's ultimate party girl in the 1950s, and boy did she know how to make headlines. Jane was just super smart.
You're presented as a symbol of sex appeal. Now, I wonder if you care to define that phrase, sex appeal.
Sex appeal is a wonderful, warm, womanly, healthy feeling. If you're a woman, it's womanly. If you're not, it's manly.
She could speak 5 languages and played the violin, but you didn't see that coming from someone famous for saying, "Ooh," that too in movies. But being smart didn't help her make wise decisions in her love life, because here comes the twist. Jane was married 3 times, but had loads of boyfriends on the side.
I know what you want. I know what you want. And well...
Holy.
She even supposedly dated JFK. She loved being in Playboy magazine and used her sexy image to stay famous. Some people say that she was addicted to attention and would do literally anything for it. Sadly, Jane died in a car crash when she was just 34 years old. If that shocked you, just wait because the next story is even wilder.
Tired of expensive, low-effort script writers for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
Number 19, Jean Tierney. What classic Hollywood beauty had a love life as dramatic as her movies? Jean Tierney starred in Laura and other super hits, but her real-life romances could have made her own movie. Jean was a total society girl before Hollywood. Her family was damn rich, and they weren't happy when she wanted to be an actress. Family drama, it seems. Jean's first marriage to designer Oleg Cassini was hot but messy. She had several secret affairs during and after her marriage. But here's the sad part. Jean struggled with mental health issues that made her love life even more complex.
I want you to know that I had only one reason. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I'm not a man who loves often, I love once.
Thank you, Russ. That's quite a concession.
She was diagnosed as bipolar, which made her act pretty wild sometimes. Jean Tierney passed away on November 6, 1991, at the age of 70, due to complications from emphysema, a condition linked to her history of smoking. Number 18, Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford wasn't just famous for her acting, but she was also famous for how she handled her love life. Joan started as a dancer in cheap shows before becoming a huge movie star.
You are here to dedicate a dance studio, and certainly those of us who have followed your fabulous career know of your great talent in the field of dancing. Would you comment on the dances of today, the Frug, the Watusi, as compared, for instance, with the Charleston?
You forgot the black bottom.
She had affairs with literally everyone in Hollywood. We're talking about Clark Gable, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and even Spencer Tracy. She even got married 5 times. But here's the weird thing. She wasn't just looking for love, but she used these relationships to climb the Hollywood ladder and stay famous. People say Joan was so controlling in her relationships that she would drive her partners crazy. Maybe that's why she kept changing husbands. Number 17, Mabel Normand. Now, did you know that the silent movie star's life was so scandalous she was mixed up in 2 different murder cases? Mabel Normand was one of the first comedy queens of movies, but her personal life was more of a murder mystery. Mabel was super talented and funny. She made people laugh in movies way back in the early 1900s when most actresses were just playing tragic roles. Charlie Chaplin even learned some comedy tricks from her. Now, here's the crazy part. Mabel was somehow involved in 2 different murders. First, her friend, director William Desmond Taylor, was killed in 1922. Then, in 1924, someone used her gun to shoot a millionaire. She didn't do either shooting, but wow, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, maybe. And her love life? Super messy. She dated lots of powerful men in Hollywood and was known for throwing absolute wild parties. Sadly, she had drug problems that made everything worse. Number 16, Mae West. Can you believe an actress once got arrested just because of the way she walked? Mae West wasn't just naughty, but she was throwing people in jail kind of naughty. Mae wrote her own movies and plays. She was damn smart and totally in control of her career, too. And that's pretty impressive in the 1930s, right?
The men of my country go wild about women with yellow hair.
I'm glad you told me. I want to keep straight on my geography.
Well, despite being super flirty on screen, Mae was pretty private about her real relationships. She had one boyfriend, Paul Novak, who was 30 years younger than her, and they stayed together from 1954 until she died in 1980. The real interesting part? Mae was way ahead of her time. She had supported gay rights back in the 1920s and also wrote plays about taboo subjects and made tons of money in real estate. She wasn't just a pretty face, but she was a smart businesswoman too. Number 15, Jean Harlow. What caused Hollywood's original platinum blonde to pass away at just 26 years old? Jean Harlow was a Hollywood celebrity known for her famous love affairs.
Say, that hurts a little bit.
You don't like to be hurt, do you?
Oh, I don't know. Kind of fun sometimes if it's done in the right spirit.
But despite her glamorous image, Harlow's life was filled with some really scary tragedies, which included the mysterious death of her second husband. Her iconic platinum blonde hair treatments, achieved through harmful chemicals, may have contributed to her health issues. She suffered from kidney disease, which was misdiagnosed at the time. Despite her success, she had little control over her finances. Her mother, Mama Jean, managed everything. Her influence was overwhelming, and in the end, it was clear Mama Jean held the reins. Number 14, Clara Bow. What dark secrets drove Hollywood's first it girl to retreat from fame at just 28 years old? The Brooklyn-born star found escape in the Hollywood industry, becoming the highest-paid actress of 1929. But her open display of romance shocked society. In an era when women were expected to be modest, Bow unapologetically dated multiple men, including alleged affairs with the entire USC football team.
I suppose you know you broke up my home. I didn't know that you were in a home. When did you get out?
The press cruelly branded her behavior as excessive, though by today's standards, her dating life would seem fairly normal. Hollywood's rumor mill went into overdrive in 1931 when her former secretary leaked private details about her love life to newspapers. The stress led to a mental breakdown, driving her to abandon Hollywood for a quiet ranch life in Nevada with her husband Rex Bell. Number 13, Joan Collins. Collins handled 5 hectic marriages, including a shocking relationship with Warren Beatty, where his constant cheating left her completely heartbroken. But the actual story begins when her third husband's drug addiction drained her bank account completely, leaving the star nearly broke. The real shocker came when Collins learned her male Dynasty co-stars earned significantly more than her, despite her character Alexis being the show's main draw. Instead of backing down, she used her sharp wit to pen best-selling novels and memoirs, rebuilding her fortune. Now, in her 90s, Collins has had relationships with both men and women, though she kept her same-sex relationships private during Hollywood's less accepting era.
You can kick them in that place, you know, with your knee. He said, but whatever it is, don't give in to it. I said, I can't. Anyway, I only liked handsome men. I've only been out, and actually all my husbands have been handsome.
If you're stunned by this, you're not ready for what's coming next. Number 12, Marilyn Monroe. Hollywood's dumb blonde Marilyn Monroe secretly built an impressive library with over 400 books by authors like Dostoevsky and Joyce. While the public drooled over her sexy curves, she was deeply interested in literature. But her love life was troubled. Baseball legend Joe DiMaggio became jealous after her famous skirt-blowing scene, wanting her to be a housewife. Her marriage to playwright Arthur Miller seemed ideal, but he often emotionally abandoned her, worsening her depression. Monroe was rumored to have affairs with the Kennedy brothers as well. She battled addictions and the overwhelming pressures of Hollywood, and sadly, she passed away at just 36 years old.
Crowds of the curious are held back at a respectful distance from the private funeral that Joe DiMaggio and others arranged for Marilyn Monroe. After services in the chapel of Westwood Memorial Cemetery, in which eulogies and passages from the scripture were read, the casket is placed in the hearse to be taken to a crypt on the nearby corridor of memories.
It's such a heartbreaking story, especially considered how much she had to endure. Number 11, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Before Zsa Zsa Gabor became a household name, known for her 9 marriages and witty one-liners, she had quite a dramatic backstory. Picture this, a young woman named Sari Gabor, trained in an Austrian convent, making a daring escape from Nazi-occupied Europe. It was the late 1930s, and the world was changing fast. With her quick wit and sharp business mind, she fled to America, ready to reinvent herself.
How do you describe yourself? How do you see yourself?
I see myself as a hard-working woman. I not see myself, I know myself as a hard-working woman.
You don't see yourself as a glamorous lady?
Well, I hope I'm glamorous. It goes with, you know, when you're an actress and a television star and stage star, you have to be glamorous.
Once in Hollywood, Zsa Zsa dazzled everyone with her charm and beauty. She quickly became famous not just for her glamorous lifestyle, but also for her clever quips. One of her most famous lines, "I never hated a man enough to give him his diamonds back," she said, perfectly capturing her blend of humor and savvy. She starred in over 60 films, including classics like Moulin Rouge, but her larger-than-life personality truly stole the show. Zsa Zsa was more than just a star. She symbolized resilience, going through the ups and downs of fame with style. Her story reminds us that sometimes a little wit and a lot of determination can turn adversity into a dazzling new life. Number 10, Elizabeth Taylor. What drove a Hollywood beauty queen to become one of the earliest and most vocal AIDS activists? Taylor seemed to embody Hollywood glamour with her violet eyes and 8 marriages. Yet beneath the surface lay a woman of impressive courage and compassion. Her close friendship with Rock Hudson, whose death from AIDS complications moved her to action. She co-founded AMFR and raised millions for AIDS research when many wouldn't even discuss the disease. Despite battling numerous health issues herself, including 40 surgeries and chronic back pain, she never stopped fighting for others. Number 9, Tallulah Bankhead. She was famous for hosting wild parties, often entertaining guests nude. She once called herself ambisextrous and had relationships with both men and women, including actress Patsy Kelly and singer Billie Holiday. Tallulah was unapologetically flirtatious and quite open about her pleasures in an era when women were expected to be modest.
What are those letters on your diaphragm?
Love letters.
Oh, bleeping appetizing.
Open.
In Hollywood circles, stories circulated about her numerous affairs with famous actors, actresses, and even politicians. But unlike others who hid their relationships, Bankhead was refreshingly honest. My father warned me about men and booze, but he never mentioned a word about women and cocaine, she said. Her wild lifestyle, fueled by cocaine addiction, led to health issues, though she never regretted living life on her terms. Number 8, Lana Turner. Before her infamous scandal with Johnny Stompanato, Turner had 7 marriages to 6 different men, earning her reputation as Hollywood's most passionate actress. Known for intense love affairs, including relationships with many gangsters and stars, she once said she fell in love too easily.
And if there's one thing I approve of, it's character.
If there's one thing I approve of, baby, it's you.
Her relationships often turned explosive, but none more so than with gangster Stompanato, who became violently jealous. Their passionate affair ended tragically when her teenage daughter Cheryl stabbed him to death while trying to protect Lana Turner herself from the abuse. Studio insiders claim Turner's intense romantic nature led her into dangerous relationships, often mistaking passion for love. Despite the scandals, she maintained her career, though her personal life overshadowed her considerable acting talents. Number 7, Frances Farmer. What happens when the world isn't ready for a strong-willed woman? Well, this is the heartbreaking story of Frances Farmer, a Hollywood star whose life took an unexpected and painful turn. Born in 1913, Frances Farmer was a popular actress with incredible talent and a fierce sexual personality.
Then you've been observing me with him.
Yes.
Were you not jealous?
Jealous? One has to be in love to be jealous.
You haven't answered my question.
Nor do I intend to. Please, Mistress Isabel.
Answer me. Are you jealous?
She spoke about her sexual relationship openly, challenged authority, and refused to be controlled by Hollywood's strict rules. Sounds brave, right? But bravery doesn't always protect you. Her troubles began with a drunk driving arrest, which might seem like a small mistake, but in Hollywood, one mistake could destroy literally everything. The media turned against her, and her own family seemed to abandon her. In a shocking turn of events, she was declared mentally incompetent and forced into a psychiatric institution.
When I became first successful as an actress, many agonizing decisions arose that I had to make, and I just wasn't mature enough and didn't have time enough to be able to make them without time and peace to think, and I didn't have it, and I had a nervous breakdown.
Yes. As a result, you spent nearly 10 years in and out of mental institutions.
Number 6, Ava Gardner. Let's see the story of a small-town girl who became Hollywood's most talked-about woman. Growing up in a tiny farming community, she had dreams bigger than her hometown could ever handle. With looks that could stop traffic and a personality that could burn bright, Gardner became the dream girl of Hollywood.
I placed an ad in the paper. You'll find it there today. The words reveal the way I feel. This is what they say.
Her marriages were like roller coasters, which were exciting, unpredictable and sometimes scary. Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra were just a few of the famous men who fell for her charm. But here's the twist. Gardner didn't play by anyone's rules. She famously said she liked her whiskey old and her men young. Can you imagine saying something like that back then? The press called her a nymphomaniac, but she didn't care at all. She lived a life filled with breaking hearts and breaking rules, becoming a legend that people would talk about for generations. Number 5, Sophia Loren. Ever wonder what it takes to become an international superstar when you're starting with nothing? Born in 1934, Sophia was far more than just a pretty face. She had the drive, the charm, and the grit to make her mark in a world that didn't hand out success easily. She was a powerhouse of talent, charisma, and true determination. Growing up in Italy during tough times, Sophia had to fight for every opportunity. With her deep brown eyes, radiant smile, and perfect curves, she attracted the hearts of men worldwide. Sophia Loren's love life centers around her deep romance with Carlo Ponti, whom she met when she was just 16 years old. They faced challenges, including bigamy charges, but married twice and had 2 sons, and remained devoted until Ponti's death in 2007. But Sophia was more than just her looks, as she was an incredible actress who won 2 Oscar awards as well.
This is the necklace my mother wore the night my father proposed to her.
Proposed?
I never had it on before.
Excuse me, I just remembered something. My brother's very sick. Very, very sick.
Movies like Two Women and Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow showcased her incredible range. She wasn't just acting, but she was telling stories that touched people's hearts. Sophia broke barriers, showing the world that an actress from a small Italian town could actually become a global sensation. Number 4, Jane Mansfield. What happens when fame becomes more addictive than anything else? Jane Mansfield was a woman who lived her entire life in the spotlight, using her beauty as both a weapon and a shield. Known for her sexual figure and personality, she was deeply involved in the Playboy world. Her marriages broke because of numerous affairs, and her sex appeal was both her greatest asset and her most challenging burden.
Presented as a symbol of sex appeal. Now, I wonder if you care to define that phrase, sex appeal.
Sex appeal is a wonderful, warm, womanly, healthy feeling. If you're a woman, it's womanly. If you're not, it's manly.
Rumors suggested relationships with high-status men, including John F. Kennedy. Mansfield's entire persona was built around being a sexual icon, constantly seeking attention and validation. Her tragic death in a car accident, at just 34, cut short a life that was as scandalous as it was glamorous. Number 3, Joan Blondell. Joan Blondell, born in 1906, was no ordinary Hollywood actress. She was a trendsetter who refused to be shut out by the traditional roles assigned to women in the industry.
Because I worked so hard when I first got out there, I didn't have a chance to see many of the pictures I appeared in. I saw about 20 out of the 97. But now and again, when I turn on the thing for the news, I hear a voice that sounds familiar, and I look, and I catch up with my career.
With her sharp intelligence and charming personality, Blondell carved out a unique space for herself during the 1930s and 1940s. Unlike many of her co-workers, Blondell wasn't afraid to live life on her terms. She married thrice and had numerous high-profile relationships, which often caught the media's attention. She embraced her sexuality openly and maintained relationships with powerful figures in the industry. After Joan Blondell lived out her sexual notoriety, next came Claudia Cardinale, along to raise the stakes and give fans even more to gossip about. Number 2, Claudia Cardinale. Have you ever wondered how an actress from a tiny town can become an international sensation? Well, this is exactly the journey of Claudia Cardinale, an Italian actress who made a lasting impression in the 1950s and captured the hearts of movie fans around the world.
Tell Frank I want to negotiate with him. personally.
Born in 1938 in Italy, Cardinale wasn't just a pretty face in Hollywood. She was a talented actress who brought some impact to every role she played. In the 1960s, all directors, including Vittorio De Second and Sergio Leone, were lured by her beauty. Her breakthrough came in films like Otto e Mezzo and Sierra Una Volta il West, movies that are now considered classics. But her path wasn't always that smooth. Breaking into international cinema wasn't a piece of cake, and she faced sexual criticism from those who were jealous of her rising success. Yet, those critics didn't stop her. She shined, proving that her talent had no boundaries. If you think this is it, then we have one more amazing female down the lane for you. Number 1, Greta Garbo. Well, ever met someone so mysterious that people can't stop talking about them? Yes, that mysterious one is Greta Garbo. Born in 1905, Greta Garbo had a very mysterious character. While other Hollywood stars loved the spotlight, she craved privacy. She wasn't just an actress, but she was an artist who turned mystery into an art form. Her love life was super intriguing. People would whisper and guess about her relationships, wondering about her connections with co-stars and fellow actors.
Were you competitors?
No. Nobody was ever a competitor.
Is that
Not
true?
with Garbo, no.
Oh.
No.
Was she interested in men? Women? Nobody knew for sure, and that made her even more fascinating. The movie studio MGM worked hard to keep her image perfect, which meant hiding any personal details that might cause controversy. Well, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed these wild tales, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more crazy stories. And if you missed our previous video, make sure to check it out right here because that's filled with even more craziness. So, what do you think about the love lives of these stars? Don't forget to drop your comment below and let us know which star scandal shocked you or you liked the most. Thanks, have a good day.